fellas, Pontavious Gaming here, bring you my very first video for Xbox. This video I'm going to be commenting on it's a game called Driving Essentials. It's going to be more of a review. So I've been reading a couple comments, well, I've been reading a couple reviews on this game on the Xbox store about how you can't use a wheel with it and about how the graphics suck. Let me just clarify one thing. The graphics are not supposed to be up to par for a basic driving simulation. Just getting the game to work on an Xbox that teaches you the basics of driving is an accomplishment in itself. As for the wheel aspect, the wheel I'm using is a PXN V900. I bought it from Amazon. I've been using it for about a month now. It's pretty good. You can play almost any racing game with it. The link to that will be in the description down below to show you guys how that I am actually. That's what the game's called right there, Driving Essentials. I'm not sure if this game is actually available on PlayStation, and I don't have a PlayStation. I have an Xbox, so if it's on PlayStation, then this review is also good for PlayStation. So without further ado, we're just gonna get started. So we're gonna start with lessons. As you can see, I've done quite a few of these. Start with the basics. We got lesson 2, scanning, score 100. Lesson 3, what if? Lesson 4, intersections. Lesson 5, following distance. Lesson 6, space management. Lesson 7, sharing the road. Lesson 8, weather and road conditions. Lesson 9, distracted driving. Lesson 10, putting it all together. Now, like I said, this is simulated driving. It's just to help you get a basic idea of what goes on in the road, and I have to say I've done all these lessons and they're pretty spot on with everything that they're saying. I would take this game into serious consideration if you have a license but no car and you're trapped at home during the pandemic and you're not able to drive. This is actually pretty good. So we're going to start with space management. We're going to see if I can try and get 100% on this. I have my wheels set on medium sensitivity with wheel configuration between 185 to 190 degrees. I set it up before I made this video. This is my personal setting.
So maintaining space around your vehicle is closely related to maintaining a proper following distance, but in this case, it means maintaining space all around your vehicle, not just in front of you. For this lesson, I'll provide a graphic that will warn you when other vehicles are nearby. Alright, start your vehicle and pull out onto the road. Make sure to check your mirrors and use your turn signal before pulling out.
Go in the engine. This one doesn't come with the shifter. The updated version, the V9, comes with a shifter and 3 pedals, 1 brake, 1 clutch, and 1 accelerator. I don't have that one. I believe that this is the one that I like. Much simpler for me. So because there's no gear shifter, you use the directional pads to actually switch gears here. So we're in drive. Now the great thing about the thing about this is you're gonna have to use a controller to actually kind of look around. It's a bit of an inconvenience. I will give it that, but you know, it's a small inconvenience for a game that's literally built on teaching you the basics of driving. So we're going to look to our left. As you can see, the mirrors are fully functioning. The mirrors on the left, right, and middle are fully functioning. You can actually see traffic coming through. Right now there's no traffic coming through, but you'll see as soon as I pull out. So as you can see, clicking the left shifter pedal is the equivalent of LB. That acts as the left shifter. Right shifter pedal is RB. So you can go. So you can literally use your left and right turn signals. So we're going to go left. We're checking our mirrors. Nothing's coming. So we're going to pull out. Actually, yep, we're going to pull out. First things first. I'm going to put it in reverse just a little bit. Go. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. We're gonna pull out. Now I like playing with one hand, but you can drive with two if you want. Now the thing about this game is that it actually has speed limit signs that you must obey the speed limit, or you're gonna start losing points. Your health bar is at 100, and running red lights, not maintaining an adequate speed.
In the previous lesson, you learned the importance of leaving enough space between you and the vehicle in front of you in case you have to stop suddenly. But coming to a stop may not always be the appropriate response. If the appropriate response is to steer around the vehicle, you'll need to make sure there's a safe space to move into, such as an adjacent lane. So how do you know if there's a safe space to move into? Well, the same method you use for identifying hazards, you'll also use to identify safe spaces. Use your scanning techniques, especially checking your mirrors, to identify spaces around your vehicle that are clear of traffic. Look left and right often to check if there's a car beside you, and position your vehicle so that those spaces remain clear. Don't weave in and out of traffic, just make subtle adjustments to your speed. Remember, you can't control the behavior of other drivers, but you can do your best to keep things clear around you and at least know when they're not.
Now the great thing about this game is you actually get a reduction in points if you brake too hard. You see, I didn't look both ways, so that's one infraction. If you don't look both ways after the light turns green, or if you don't wait the 3 seconds after the light turns green, you actually get an infraction. So that was an infraction on my part. See, we're coming up on a roadblock. That was a little close, to be honest. So if you go off road or just straight crash, the lesson will automatically end and you will fail. As you can see, you get points for good driving. Now we're about to come up on a right turn. We're about to get onto the highway. Now this PXN V900, it does come with pedals. It's just your standard brake and your accelerator pedal.
On the highway, it's the same thing. There's no telling when you might have to change lanes quickly, so make sure you always have a clear space around you.
Try my best to stay on the road here. Speed up a little bit. I don't know why I got that infraction, okay. Basically, now you must come to a full stop. So left and right. If you don't do that, you actually get an infraction. You also get an infraction for not using your turn signals.
Okay, go ahead and pull into this gas station. Shut down your vehicle when you find a good place to park.
There you go. You put it in park, and then you press A to cut the engine. Score of 99. See, I followed too close, did not look both ways. So, you know, this is actually a pretty good. It's actually a pretty good lesson. Pretty good game to learn the basics of driving. Again, nothing beats road driving on the road using a road car. But you know, this to be perfectly honest, this is just as good as a good approximation. I'll try and get that 100% another time. So we're also going to try. We're going to try sharing the road. Being the fact that that last one was a little short.
So far you've done a good job driving with normal traffic, but let's talk about some specialty vehicles you may encounter. So there are certain types of vehicles you'll want to pay special attention to, such as bicycles, motorcycles, emergency vehicles, and buses, each with their own set of behaviors. Bicycles and motorcycles are unique vehicles. Not only are they more vulnerable in a crash, but because of their smaller size, they can be difficult to spot. A bicycle or motorcycle can readily be hidden by another car. They also more easily fit into your blind spots. And even when you can see them, it may be difficult to determine their speed or predict their actions because they're capable of different maneuvers than other vehicles. There are specialty vehicles, such as buses and taxis, which make frequent stops and return to the road regularly. There are specific laws regarding some specialty vehicles, like with school buses, for instance. You are required to stop when its lights are flashing, and you cannot continue until the bus's stop sign is retracted and the lights are turned off. You may continue once the bus shuts off its lights, but still keep an eye out for children.
So you'll gain a fraction. See, you gain a fraction if you actually go 5 over the limit.
Even if a bus is coming the other way, you're still required to stop until its lights stop flashing.
Oh. Don't mind me and my badger. But yes, even though the graphics are bad, you can't see how...
Postal vehicles have a special purpose that requires them to make frequent stops and drive outside the flow of traffic. In addition, postal workers often have to exit their vehicle, so when approaching a postal vehicle, keep an eye out for the driver as well as the movement of the vehicle. Give them plenty of room by slowing down and moving over as far as possible.
Now, a normal wheel would take about 2, at full lock, a normal wheel would be between 2 and 3 turns. Now, this wheel has a maximum steering angle of 900 degrees, so that's about 2.5 turns. 1.5 turns. Yeah, whatever. So we're going to go left and right. Nothing's coming.
Always keep an ear out for sirens. You'll most likely hear an emergency vehicle long before you see it. And there's specific laws regarding emergency vehicles. You're required to pull over as far as possible, even if the emergency vehicle is traveling in the opposite direction. If the emergency vehicle is coming up from behind you, don't panic. Simply find a safe place to pull over as quickly as possible, and keep in mind, other vehicles will be trying to do the same thing. Trucks offer a special challenge. They're big, so they're easy to spot, but in turn, their size makes it difficult for them to see you. Trucks have blind spots, some of which are large enough to completely hide your vehicle from the driver's view. Take a look at the graphic. These blind spots are often referred to as no zones, because they're areas you want to avoid. There are times, of course, when you need to enter a no zone in order to pass. When you do, spend as little time there as possible. Try passing these trucks. Pass through the no zone quickly, but without speeding. Exit here.
Well, we're recalibrating my wheels a little bit while I have a chance.
Especially in cities, you'll often find delivery trucks double parked. There are no special rules regarding delivery trucks, but be aware of pedestrians walking around them and check your mirrors before changing lanes.
Waiting 3 seconds, looking both ways.
Alright, pull over here and shut down your vehicle. Pull over as soon as you can. Remember to follow the specific laws regarding emergency vehicles and school buses. For all other special vehicles, be aware of the way they move and the best way to act around them.
So those are all my infractions right there. So the last thing I'm going to show you about this is they actually have a lesson dedicated to what happens when you're distracted. And I think this is by far one of the most informative lessons in this game.
Alright, if there's one thing that will ruin everything you've learned, it's driving distracted. It doesn't matter how safe a driver you are. If you're not paying attention to the road, you might as well be driving blind. Let's take a drive, and I'll show you.
I'll buckle up, start the engine, basically drive, go to the left, make sure nobody's coming. Pull on our right turn signal, up, pull out.
Look, it's easy to become distracted while driving. There's this expectation that you'll respond immediately to any incoming text or call, even if you're driving. But you have to learn to resist that urge because the consequences are too great. So why is driving distracted so dangerous? Well, when responding to a text, you may not think you look away that long, but a few seconds is a long time when driving. Lots of things can and do change. And if something does happen when you're not looking, you won't even see it coming. It's like to try to drive while looking away? Let me show you. Unnerving, huh? Even when you do look back at the road, it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust and figure out what's been going on.
Gonna have to run this red light to keep it going. Move over to the turn lane. As you can see, I do have the green.
So for demonstration purposes, I'll allow you to become distracted by using the phone. Oh, and by the way, never try this in a real vehicle.
said I do run across the street. Jesus.
Notice how difficult it is to practice the safe driving techniques you just learned when distracted.
Okay, now I'm going to show you what happens with this lesson when you actually fail it by either crashing into something or going off-road. Now it's even more dangerous because I'm on the highway. Trying to move over. So I want to crash deliberately. This is what happens when you're distracted on the road.
You don't think about the consequences of distracted driving until something happens.
Can I see your driver's license?
Great. Do we have a pulse oximeter?
110.
Do we have an airway?
No airway.
But if your distracted driving leads to a crash, the cost may be far worse than you think. Even small car repairs can cost a ton. On top of that, you'll likely pay hundreds more in insurance. And then there's the ticket. And traffic school, ugh. You might even have your license taken away, which makes it a little harder to get to school and work. Things get really serious if you hurt someone as a result of your decision.
You have been convicted of the crime of reckless driving causing injury. This is the time and the place for judgment and sentence.
Luckily, distracted driving is a choice. Your choice.
Okay, as you can see, driver stopped the lesson because I collided due to distracted driving, and as you can see, a very informative video appeared telling you the dangers and warnings of driving distracted. And this is where I will end this video. So I hope you like this review of this game, and I hope it puts to rest any type of doubt that is cast when it comes to playing this game called Driving Essentials for the Xbox One. Again, I'm not too sure if it's for PlayStation, but in my opinion, it gets 4 stars. And I think during the pandemic, it could be an all-round good thing to just practice with. That's it. So, hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.